Most of us have heard stories of someone who made a lot of money picking stocks or investing in cryptocurrency, or someone who moved their money out of the market just before the crash in 2008. And maybe even someone you know. Stories like this sometimes make us wonder, maybe if I had the right information, I could make a lot of money like that. Or I can't do it, but if I listen to someone more intelligent than I am, maybe they'll be able to tell me what stocks to pick or when to buy or sell. No doubt about it, some of these stories are true, but does intelligence equate to successful stock picking or market timing? Is it intelligence or is it something else? To answer this, we can look at decades of research, but I'll go back even further to Isaac Newton, one of the greatest scientists of all time and widely considered one of the top 5 most intelligent people who ever lived. If successful stock picking comes down to intelligence, Newton would undoubtedly have been the guy to listen to. Isaac Newton wasn't just a scientist, he was an investor. In 1720, he got a hot stock tip from one of his friends. His friend told him the South Sea Company was about to take off, and investors who owned shares could realize a substantial profit. Newton took the advice and bought shares of the South Sea Company, and sure enough, the stock soared, and Newton made a handsome profit. And being the wise man he was, he cashed in and realized his gain. But then something happened. He watched as the stock continued to rise and rise and rise. He watched with annoyance as his friends became rich. If only I had waited, I could have made a lot more money, he must have thought to himself. It seemed the stock would keep going up. Everyone was making money. Finally, Newton did what many of us probably would be tempted to do. He got back in, this time with more money than he started with. And wouldn't you know it, shortly thereafter, the bubble burst and Newton lost his entire life fortune, prompting him to say, "I can predict the movement of stars, but not the madness of men." It can be tempting to believe the more informed we are, the more intelligent we are, the more likely we're going to be able to pick winning stocks or be able to know when to get in or when to get out of the market. And frankly, we may get it right sometimes. After all, Newton got it right 2 times. But the real test is, can we do it consistently? Is it a wise strategy to base our plan on? And more importantly, is it a strategy we can count on that can persist going forward? Even when we do make the right call once or twice or more frequently, it can sometimes give us a false sense of confidence and reinforce the misperception that we can continue to do it in the future consistently. Fortunately, decades of research has been done on this, and it's shown the amount of information that we have about a particular stock does not equate to successful stock picking. In fact, it's probably more equated to luck than anything else. That's probably because all the information you or I or anyone else can get our hands on about any given stock is information that's already available in the marketplace. It's already factored into the price of that stock. And there's no evidence that intelligence equates to successful stock picking or market timing. Fortunately, we know what does work. Investors who minimize risk by owning lots of different securities rather than just a handful of stocks, who stay fully invested for the long term, keeping investment costs down and trimming gains along the way, usually fare much better than those who try to pick stocks or outguess the markets.